My first car cost me $300. My second car cost me $50. So you can tell probably what kind of cars I drove when I was 16, 17, 18 years old. During that time, a friend of mine had a car for sale, and my brother was just getting his driver's license, so I put the two of them together. I believe my brother bought a 1968 Ford Galaxy 500 Fastback for $100 from this friend of mine. Be a beautiful car now to be restored. It'd be fun to work on now, but at the time it was pretty junky too. $100 car, even back in the mid-80s, didn't get you very much. One of the things that was wrong with that car, and there were many things that were wrong with it, one of the things that was wrong with it is that when we first got it, the gas gauge didn't work. And so we basically just drove around in it and just guessed when we might need to go get fuel. We kind of estimated off my car how much fuel it used, and then we kind of just guessed how much he might have. And since we were never able to fill the tank anyway, we were always just putting in $10 or $5 at a time because we couldn't afford to do anything else. And so every once in a while we'd just decide we had to go get gas, and so we'd go do that. One day we go to get gas, and Kurt's filling up the gas tank, and all of a sudden the nozzle shuts off and gas is spurting everywhere, and we're like, well, what's going on now? We thought maybe the filler neck had clogged up somehow, or maybe there was something else wrong. We didn't really understand right away that we weren't really out of gas at all. We had guessed that we needed gas. We had guessed that the tank was just about empty. We thought we probably had used all we had, but in fact, we kept filling it up and filling it up and filling it up every so often and never using quite as much as we thought. And so when he went to the gas station to fill the tank this one time, it was almost full before he started. We had a lot more gas than we thought we did. I thought about that the other day as I was talking to someone who's struggling with life right now, and they were kind of seeing themselves as if they were victims. They were kind of sort of saying they didn't know how they were going to get through things, and they didn't know what they were going to do. And I wanted to remind them, and in fact I did, that you probably have more resources than you understand. You're probably underestimating your ability to handle this. You see, here's the thing. When tragedy comes, most of us can stand up and do what needs to be done. The trick is to realize how to do that every single day. Most of us have more in the tank than we know. In particular, that's true of Christian people, those who live by the Word of God and with the Spirit of God in them. John writes to them in 1 John chapter 4, verse 4, and reminds them of this. He says, "He who is in you," the Spirit of God, "he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world." That's written in a whole section where they're feeling like maybe they're being overrun or they can't handle things. And John says, no, hang on a second. You have more resources than you know. Your tank is more full than you think it is. He who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. You've got help you haven't even started to use yet, John says, and I think that's probably true of most of us. We can see ourselves as glass half empty, and we can see ourselves as having no hope, or we can have a better estimation of ourselves. We can see what we actually do have, what we can accomplish. I believe you're better off than you understand. And if you start acting that way, maybe you will understand it. I think your tank is probably almost full.